In a world overflowing with noise, distractions, and the desperate scramble for attention, silence has almost become an act of rebellion. Every moment, we are bombarded by demands for our reaction, our anger, our worry, our fear. Few people today know how to resist this constant pull. Even fewer understand how to stay calm in the midst of it all. Yet almost 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the Roman Empire, lived surrounded by storms far more violent than our own. And yet he found peace not by escaping the world, but by mastering himself within it. His life, his private writings, and above all his unwavering practice of Stoic principles show us a path that is not just ancient, but timeless. Marcus Aurelius understood that the world outside would never be calm. He faced plagues that wiped out entire cities, wars that threatened to tear the empire apart, betrayals by those he trusted, and the immense burden of leadership, where every decision could mean life or death for millions. But even in the worst of times, Marcus held on to a simple but powerful truth. You cannot control the events outside of you, but you can always control how you meet them. Power lies not in altering the course of history, but in commanding the fortress of your own mind. Most people live at the mercy of circumstance. Their moods rise and fall with the slightest change. A word of praise lifts them into joy. A criticism plunges them into despair. But Marcus Aurelius saw that this was a form of slavery, the worst kind, the slavery of the soul to the outside world. To be truly free, he realized, a man must make his well-being independent of anything he cannot command. He must learn to stand unmoved amidst fortune's wheel, untouched by either triumph or disaster, focused only on what belongs to him, his choices, his virtues, his judgment. This was not easy, even for Marcus. He never pretended it was. His meditations are filled with reminders to himself, constant corrections of thought, small confessions of his own struggles. Stoicism was not, for him, a theory to lecture others with. It was a daily, moment-by-moment discipline, forged through hardship. It is precisely because he struggled that his voice reaches us with such honesty. It is the voice of a man trying, failing, and trying again, and that makes it more powerful than any cold, theoretical philosophy could ever be. At the heart of his method was a relentless focus on the present moment. Marcus knew how easily the mind is tempted away, into regrets about the past, into fantasies or fears about the future, and how dangerous this distraction is. Life is only ever lived now, in this fleeting, perishable instant. Everything else is a dream. So he disciplined himself to ask, what is my duty right now? What is the right action for this moment, and this moment alone? He refused to be paralyzed by what might happen tomorrow or crushed by what went wrong yesterday. His field of action was always limited to the present, and within that field, he sought to act rightly, completely, and without hesitation. How different this is from how most people live. We allow our attention to be pulled apart by 1,000 invisible hands. We live half in memories, half in anxieties, barely touching the life that is actually in front of us. We postpone our best efforts until some imagined future, or we waste our energy reliving old wounds. Marcus Aurelius would say, cut through all that. The past is dead, the future is unborn. Only now exists, and it slips away faster than you can grasp it. Waste no time. Begin now. Act now. Live now. Marcus's view of obstacles was equally radical. Most of us see obstacles as problems, annoyances to be avoided if possible, endured if necessary. Marcus saw them as essential to life itself. Every obstacle, every difficulty was, in his eyes, an opportunity to practice virtue. Without obstacles, there would be no courage. Without injury, no patience. Without difficulty, no wisdom. Life was not something that occasionally went wrong. Struggle was life's natural condition, and it was through struggling well that greatness was achieved. Imagine a soldier who only trains on sunny days, only fights when the battle is easy. Such a man would never become strong. Likewise, Marcus knew that the soul must be tempered by adversity. Each hardship faced with dignity, each setback met with patience, each injustice answered with integrity, was another step towards becoming the kind of human being he aspired to be: free, noble, and strong. This idea is perhaps one of the most challenging for modern people to accept. We are taught to seek comfort, to avoid pain at all costs. But Marcus shows us that comfort is not where strength grows. It is precisely when life is hardest that our greatest opportunities appear. The storm does not ruin the sailor, it makes him. The fire does not destroy the sword, it hardens it. So too are we forged by the difficulties we encounter, if we meet them rightly. Yet even as he met the world's challenges head-on, Marcus never lost sight of life's brevity. The constant awareness of death is a theme running through all his writings. He did not fear death, nor did he obsess over it. Rather, he used it as a reminder: life is short. You are mortal. You do not have endless time to waste in pettiness, in distraction, in fear. Every moment lost to vice or vanity is a moment you will never regain. To Marcus, reflecting on death was not morbid, it was liberating. It stripped away illusions and forced him to focus on what truly matters. When you remember that you might die tomorrow, that this conversation, this breath, might be your last, you stop caring about trivial things. You stop worrying about what others think. You stop delaying the life you were meant to live. Instead, you act, and you act with urgency and authenticity. How many people today live as if they will never die? How many waste their lives in endless postponement, telling themselves that they will begin living someday? Marcus's reminder cuts through that delusion. There is no someday. There is only now. And the wise man makes full use of the time he has, however little it may be. Throughout all these practices, acceptance, presence, resilience, remembrance of death, runs a deeper thread: the commitment to virtue. Marcus Aurelius did not seek to be happy in the shallow sense of the word. He did not seek wealth, or fame, or even comfort. He sought to be good. He believed that true fulfillment lies in living according to nature, which, for a human being, means acting with reason, justice, courage, and self-discipline. Virtue, for Marcus, was its own reward. He did not need anyone's approval to know he was acting rightly. He did not need monuments built in his honor. He knew that goodness is complete in itself. A good deed done in secret is no less good because no one sees it. A life lived with integrity is no less valuable because the world does not applaud. This is perhaps the most radical teaching of all: to find all your fulfillment within yourself, within the steady practice of virtue, without needing anything from outside you. Fame is fleeting, riches are unstable, even health can be taken from you at any moment. But virtue, the conscious choice to act rightly, is yours alone, untouchable by fortune, imperishable even in death. Marcus Aurelius's life was a testament to this philosophy. Despite his immense power, he remained humble. Despite his burdens, he remained compassionate. Despite the temptations of absolute rule, he sought always to govern himself first. In the end, his greatness did not lie in the battles he won or the cities he ruled, but in the empire he built within his own heart, an empire of discipline, clarity, courage, and grace. Today, his words still shine with undiminished force because they touch something eternal in the human spirit. They call us to a higher way of living, not based on external success, but on internal mastery. They remind us that while we may not command the events of our lives, we can always command ourselves. And in doing so, we can find a peace that no circumstance can destroy. In the noise of modern life, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius is more necessary than ever. It invites us to stop reacting blindly, to pause, to think, to choose. It reminds us that greatness is not in grand gestures, but in daily, persistent attention to the small things: a kind word, a disciplined thought, a patient silence. It teaches us that while the world may whirl around us in chaos, the soul can stand still, calm, steady, undisturbed. We often think that living a good life requires extraordinary circumstances, more time, more money, more opportunities. Marcus shows us otherwise. He teaches that the good life is available to us always, wherever we are, whatever we face, if only we choose to live with awareness, with virtue, with acceptance. No special conditions are needed. Only the willingness to meet each moment fully, with all the wisdom and courage we can summon. In the end, the legacy of Marcus Aurelius is not a set of doctrines or dogmas. It is an invitation to live bravely, to love wisdom, to hold fast to our highest selves even when the world pulls us down. It is a call to arms, not against others, but against our own pettiness, our own fear, our own forgetfulness of what truly matters. To read his words is to be reminded that we are capable of more than we think. That dignity, serenity, and greatness are not the privileges of the few, but the birthright of anyone who dares to claim them. That no matter how dark the storm, the light of the soul can burn steady and clear, if only we will tend it carefully, day by day, moment by moment. This, then, is the gift Marcus Aurelius offers us across the centuries. Not easy answers, but the hard, beautiful truth. That the path to peace is not in changing the world, but in mastering ourselves. That the work is never finished, and that this is precisely what makes it noble. That the time is short, and the time is now.